Welcome to Love and Then What? Love and Then What? With your hosts,
Justin Judge and Julian Ferguson C.
So, all right, so we're going to get into my top 5 for dating websites.
Really quick before we start.
Yeah.
I've never been on a dating website before until March,
Yes,
basically.
so her-
and I had been off the dating scene for like almost 8 years, so.
She had a long-term boyfriend.
So
So y'all really both already know the date sites. I don't know. I should have known.
I only know one.
Oh, okay. You only know one though. Okay, gotcha.
Okay. So, number 5, mine is Match. So, this
Never
one,
use that one.
you have to pay for it. Mm-hmm. It's too expensive, and because it's expensive, no one's on it. There's like if you want to put like girls near me, nobody there. If you want to open it up to the whole country, like 3 girls that are like worth talking to. Other than that,
So I just signed up for Match.
Okay. So
That's
tell me what the
encouraging.
guys look like.
Very odd.
Like what type of guy?
Like older dudes, and it's very weird. Like you put your parameters in there, and then I'm getting matched with people in California.
Yeah, like I said.
I put my parameter in that my definite is I don't want anybody with kids, and I'm getting matched with people with kids, and then I thought you had to like both match each other, like both like each other, but I'm getting messages from guys that I'm not like liking back.
You just have to pay for it, and you can say whatever you want to whoever you want. What?
Question.
Yeah, the kid thing. I knew that.
The kid thing. I'm just. I'm
Wait,
just curious.
Are you asking her out on a date? Like,
I'm
yeah,
just curious. No. Listen.
I never saw Black Blush performance. Jesus Christ.
I'm just curious
Okay.
in her point. All right.
Okay.
Listen. Why without a kid?
Because I don't want. Now I'm going to be a hypocrite because I'm going to tell you like something new, but I didn't want to deal with the baby mama drama,
Okay.
the custody, or if you like, oh, I can't go out, I have to get a babysitter, or I can't because I have like it's my turn to like.
Don't get someone with a dog either, because we would find babysitters. So.
It's just
Yeah.
like it's a different, and then like I didn't like my ex and I didn't want kids. So I'm
Say that again.
My ex and I didn't want any kids.
100%. Both you didn't want kids.
100% didn't
Not
want
about
one
now?
didn't want kids, and then the other
What
one
about
decided.
now? Why would I?
I don't.
Do I want a kid?
Yes.
If I'm open to it, but I'm 33,
She Ashley is 32,
Yeah,
so
I'll be
she's
33 in October.
so
I'm the same way. I'm like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't,
yeah.
it doesn't.
she wants a kid. Ashley wants a kid.
But before
so do you.
I need a kid. I need a kid.
Holy.
We need to show you pictures of my 3 nieces that he.
I saw.
Yeah.
I show them kids. Tremaine, I gotta show you. I show those kids off as much as I can.
Yeah.
Every time his mom comes over, she's like, he needs a kid. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I got him a dog. Okay.
That's because at the time I was trying that, like with my ex. I was just started trying probably for a month. We were trying to have
You're
a kid.
so fucking lucky, dude.
Oh,
I know.
So fucking lucky.
she would have been a terrible parent.
Absolutely.
So I would have had to
She
be.
sounds so awesome.
You would have to get a DNA test.
Oh yeah, I would never trust that whore for.
What's up?
Oh, I wasn't finished yet.
Okay, that's fine.
With what?
On that
On the
question.
okay, go ahead.
Now, what if? I'm just curious.
Okay.
From you pushing just that away,
Uh-huh.
maybe a person with a kid is literally the best match that you will ever
Exactly.
find in your life.
So I just started talking to this guy, and he didn't have, like, you can, I guess, it was on Hinge. I met him on Hinge. And, you good?
I never heard of that.
Oh,
It's a
I guess,
what-
yeah, it's a
something.
dating.
I signed up for it and deleted it like an hour later.
We'll talk about it after Matt. I want to get into Hinge because I never even heard of it either.
Okay, my coworker told me about it, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. So you can say like you have kids or you don't, but you can hide that. And then, so it didn't have that if he had any kids, and he said he was open to kids. I'm like, all right. So we started talking. I'm the investigator that I am. I find his Facebook, and he's got a daughter. And I'm like, okay, but he didn't say anything. So last night we were talking, and I flat out was like, oh, you ever been married? He knew I was married. And I was like, have any kids? And he was like, never married. I have a 6-year-old daughter. And I'm like, all right. And he asked me if my ex and I had any kids. We just split the pets. And I was like, no, we didn't want any. And he goes, is that a deal breaker that I have a daughter? He goes, because some people it is. And I was like, in the past, it would have been a deal breaker because I didn't want to deal with the drama. But I'm now learning to like learn this situation, and I don't want to like maybe miss out on a potential partner just because they have a child.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because you also get
So,
a great experience.
and
with the
then
kid as
we
well.
ended up video chatting for 4.5 hours last night,
Nice.
and we're
nice.
going on a date tonight.
Woohoo!
Oh, I was gonna say,
Let's go,
I
girl.
want to get into that later. I want to get into that. But
I was gonna say, don't tell your date that tonight.
so it's funny, the kid thing, I was the same way. So I was the same way where at first I was like, I don't want to deal with baby mama drama or baby daddy drama, whatever you want to call it.
He goes both ways.
I go, but whatever way I need to swing, left or right hand, I knock it out of the park either way. But Barry Bonds. But I didn't want it. And then I just started, I was like, it limits the field so much when you're on a dating website that you just go, you know what, I'll see. But I'm so glad Ashley does not have a kid.
I'm glad too. But
Yes, she has awesome nieces that I love to death. They're the cutest things
But
ever.
it's true about like narrowing because when I was only on a dating website for 2 weeks before I met him, so I don't have that much experience. But I had made, so I'm 32. I made the parameters like 28 to 35 or something like that, and literally like the day that I was gonna go change it because I kept getting like guys in their 20s, and I was like, I'm not really like, I don't want to date a younger guy. Da, da, da. So that's something like for me that I was apprehensive about. And I was literally getting ready to change it to like 31, and then I met him. So I'm glad I didn't, because then I would have never, because he's 29, so I never would have.
Because I'm talking to he's 29.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're fine.
Yeah.
it's a
So,
good age. Good age.
but
About
then
to be
you
30.
but then everybody like around our age group, they have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody does or has already been married.
Or
There's
they're-
nothing wrong having kids. It seems like how you say that makes it seem like something's wrong with kids.
No, there's nothing wrong
No,
with kids.
I think that dating's hard enough, and like it's very scary when you're going into it thinking about meeting a new person, and then on top of it, potentially meeting a kid.
You
and
feel pressure that you have to
Right,
make
right.
sure you got to do good with the kid.
But if
because-
the person's responsible, they're not going to throw their kid into it right away. They're going to take their time.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's what I mean.
Something's going on up there.
you got to.
Yeah. So it all depends on if they're a good person, then hopefully their kid's gonna be good and the whole situation's gonna be good. But
Exactly.
All right. So that's match. I'm gonna get into my number 4.
Okay.
POF. That's my number 4.
I've heard of it, but
Plenty of fish.
I heard about
Yeah.
that.
All right, so
I have my job because of that.
you were so
it's a
good at
thumbs
sex
up
that
for
you.
Becca.
Wait. Were you so good at?
No, I met. This was back in college. I haven't been on POF in years. So I met this guy. We went on a date. Didn't work out, but we still remain friends to this day. And after college, couldn't find a job in chemistry. And he was like, "My dad's the COO. Email him." I
Of what? Just you don't have to say that.
residential like a residential community,
Okay.
like property management.
There you go.
And he was like, "Here, you can get an interview." I got myself an interview and I got myself the job. So if it wasn't for POF, I would have never met him, and I would have never been in my career field.
So the guys that you meet on POF, you find are sophisticated with rich parents.
That was
I wouldn't want that
15.
anyway.
that was
That
like,
sounds terrible.
yeah,
What are you
that
trying
was
to
like
say about me?
12
I'm not
years-
sophisticated.
No.
I don't have class. Excuse me, I have a
Just listen to the
master's
way you
degree,
said
and here I
class.
am sitting behind
You
this
said
desk.
class like that. Like that
Excuse
says
me.
it all. By the way, POF is plenty of fish for people
Yeah.
that don't know.
No, that was like 12, 13 years ago. So I don't know what it's like now.
I have no idea. I've never been on it, but
So-
I've heard things. Yeah.
So when I was on POF, along probably 6 or 7 years ago, was when. No. When I was in the military, I was on POF, and in Europe, POF is big. It's the girls you meet in Europe are pretty cool on POF.
The fuck does that mean?
I mean, they're like they're.
They're whores. They're easy.
I mean, all right. I mean, no. There's just
I called it out.
there's a higher caliber of girls. This is 2010 when I was there. So this is a higher caliber of girl, and I say that because it's juxtaposed to what it is here.
Exactly.
And I feel like online dating was just starting to be I don't know how long it's
Yeah,
been
POF has been around.
Yeah.
That's one that's been around forever.
Oh, okay.
So this one,
When did online dating become like the main
I'm
stream?
man.
You know what I mean?
I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. But
Because it's like that's it now, unless you like meet someone randomly somewhere.
20 teens probably.
Yeah.
I would say around 2011, 20. I don't know, somewhere
Yeah.
in the beginning of like the 2010s. Is that when that's when it became like a thing? There's a lot less like nobody thinks anything of it now. She has a dog food bag in her bra. Is
Pockets.
that in your bra?
Very real. I was like, I didn't
She's patting it with dog food.
No, I
about to
didn't
say
have
that.
pockets when I took him out, and I was like, oh my god, something's bothering me right now.
That was so weird to do.
Sorry. I'm a
It's the
magician
norm now.
Yeah, it's very normal.
yeah.
It's normalized completely. Everyone. That's how me and I'll get into how me and her met on the that's number one, how we met. But POF around here, I haven't been on in a while since me, and even when I was on, like after the whore left, and between me and the whore and her, I went on POF. I couldn't find a single girl that was normal. They're all fucking ghetto girls, who like take those pictures with like the hearts or like the duck, like they put like a bunch of like,
Too much. They're doing too much.
They're
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to distract you from their face.
and they're always
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
like all kinds of bullshit. And every time I've ever talked to any of them, they're always just like, it's just ghetto as shit. Like I don't like it. Like I'm not a ghetto kind of guy. If you haven't noticed from the way I look,
What do you mean they talk ghetto to you? Like,
it's just like,
Yeah,
hey, how you doing? Like, I say it with a weird accent. That was weird. But there's like eyes where there shouldn't be eyes. Hey boy, like with an eye at the end of
I
a
know
boy.
what you're talking about. I know what
Like-
you're talking about. I know
They
what
have the
you're
big hoop earrings, which if you're into that, cool. Go on POF. They're all in there.
talking
it's
about.
just Like that's the way I read it because there's eyes where there
The
shouldn't
bigger
be
the
eyes.
hoop, the bigger the hound. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. All right,
I didn't even
Tremaine.
think about that. That's actually that sounds pretty accurate.
Bigger hoop, bigger hound. Judgment call.
Sounds pretty accurate.
All right, Tremaine, what do you think about POF since you haven't been on like before I said that?
I talked to a lot of niggas about this one, and they said that, well, from them, they're telling me is basically, they easy for them to get free booty. You feel me?
Yeah.
It's nothing like for relationship. None of them talk to me in no relationship type shit. Just
But that's okay if that's what.
if that's what y'all both
Right.
looking for, you feel me?
Right.
If that's what everything's.
And
cool
I've
with
actually-
that, but that's go see what they got.
I just remember this since you said that booty thing. I actually talked to a girl in there for like probably 2 hours on it a while ago.
And he got what he wanted, so.
No, but she said, "Hey, by the way, it's 100 roses for an hour." I was like, "What does that even mean?" She goes, "100 roses for an hour." I was like, "We were just talking about what we do for a living," and she made up some bullshit before, I guess. And she goes, 100 roses for an hour. I was like, "What does that mean?" She goes,
I'm really bringing you 100 roses just so you know.
"She's like $100."
I know, but I'm
for-
bringing you 100 roses.
I
For
didn't know
everyone
that
else in the world,
roses were done.
so it's $100 for an hour of
Her
sexcapades.
Yep.
Okay, good to know.
That's
I would
the-
have brought like a
You would've
bunch of
came?
roses.
I
You
would've
would've
brought
came.
100
I would've
roses.
brought- I would've been
You said I got a text.
Like,
You
do you have
said
an
it.
uncle that sells these? Like, I don't.
100 roses is way more expensive
And then,
than 100.
yeah.
Way
That's-
more,
That
way
is
more.
true.
Yeah.
That is true.
That's why I got nervous. I was like, I can't afford that. $100 I got that right now. I would never do it now. I love you, Ashley.
You don't have to keep saying that. I know, you're fine.
All right, so number. Oh wait, do you have a number 4 or where do you have?
Wait,
What do you have 3?
Have you tried POF?
No, not since.
Oh, since the.
No.
Okay.
Have you ever tried PLO?
No.
So
I
there's
tried one dating site for 2 weeks.
there's no way to know what kind of guys on there. I mean, I was on there, so you can find
So
a catch. All right. So do you have a number 4? Or what? How many numbers do you have? Do you have 3 or 4?
There's Facebook dating.
That's a thing.
That's a
New.
thing.
Oh shit.
newer,
Yeah,
yes.
newer.
Which I have heard from people
That's
that
a
they liked
thing?
it.
Yeah,
That's a fucking
Facebook
thing.
dating, Hinge, Bumble. Oh, I do have 5.
So what's your number?
Match.
Let's just go with your number 5 real fast.
eHarmony.
So we.
Oh, that shit
Is-
actually work?
Is the worst one you're saying?
Yeah,
Okay.
worst one.
Oh, worst one.
Wait,
okay.
is
Well,
this number? Yeah.
This is my number 3. Why is this number 5 for you? Why do you hate it so much?
It's super expensive.
Same with Match.
Match is way cheaper than eHarmony.
Okay, I can't remember.
And you get guys who are like 36 years old living at home with their parents with like no job.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, who paid for your eHarmony? Like, you just get very,
Ah,
Okay.
yeah, like it's just very weird people. I had a really weird experience. I met this one guy,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll get into that later if you want.
Yeah.
And it was just very there's and then the amount of people on there,
Mm-hmm.
not many because it's super expensive.
Yeah. So that's my number 3. So there, for me, when I went on there, I don't go on there anymore. I love you, baby. So there's a lot of good intention girls on there, but there's just not a lot of them. From my side, like there's girls who are actually looking for something serious, which I was after I was like I'm not like into like the single life. Like I was.
No.
That was not a good look for me. I tried it. It was not a good look. I was a single guy for first like 22 years of my life. I mean, I had like little flings, but I wasn't like, you know what I mean? Anyway, they know what I mean. So there's a lot of good people in there. They have like good jobs. They were normally older than me.
All
And
that. So I'm just kidding.
no. Clearly. Which is
I'm
not a
kidding.
bad thing. They always had kids. They normally went through a divorce, but there wasn't a lot of them. And that was another one of those websites where you had to expand it to California. Mm-hmm. You had to say, all right, you can live anywhere in the United States, and I will lie to you and have sex with you. Like it's just weird. It's just a weird website. What do you know about eHarmony?
I don't know shit about it.
Me
I
either.
remember seeing the commercial.
Never?
That's it.
So when you guys say it's expensive or da-da-da, I've never paid for. So how much was it? Like was it a monthly
That's what you got me
thing?
for.
Like,
I ain't paying for shit.
$370 for a year.
I probably am still. I don't go on any of them because you pay for a year.
so that's eHarmony.
And what's your
370.
access though when you paid for it for whatever that $70?
It was $370.
300.
Yeah.
You can talk. You can message whoever you want.
Right.
You can see anyone's profile. If you don't pay for these things, you can't see their profile.
So it's pointless, right? If you don't pay for it.
Yeah, it's very.
exactly.
You out
exactly.
your fucking mind. To think
Yeah.
I'm paying
Yeah.
something
But
that much.
if you,
I need a
but
beer.
do you want to hear? If it's
Did you like the beer?
Yeah, I did, but
She's going on a date.
I am.
She can't be
I can't
wasty
be, yeah.
pants. He's on the couch.
Okay, baby's on the couch.
But my mindset was if you pay for it, if they're willing to pay that much money, they're serious
About
They're
finding
not. Yeah, they're
That's
serious
my-
about finding
that
somebody.
was my mindset.
Yeah, they're not just there for a fuck buddy or whatever.
And that might be true, but it doesn't mean that like there's gonna be someone there that's
There's-
right for
That's
you.
what I'm
You
about
know
to
what
say.
I
I
mean?
could pay
Like,
$400
yeah.
damn dollars and not find one person that one whole year.
And that
Damn
seems
it. I'll be
silly
pissed.
to me to pay for a year. Like, not to say
But
that
it's
somebody's
cheap, yeah.
on something for you that's bad, but like I don't want to be on no dating site for a year. Like I better
That's what I'm
find someone
saying.
before
Hopefully,
that.
yeah, that's what I mean. Let's do
Or
it
I'm
month by
like,
month.
forget this site.
I bet Match and eHarmony are killing it right now because you can't go out to the
Absolutely.
bar and meet
Yeah.
somebody.
Yeah, probably.
But I think that even like Facebook dating, like you're not paying anything for that, and I've heard a lot of
But-
good things about it.
But again, the
you know?
mindset was the same thing I had
Yeah.
when she
And
said
people
it.
with a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
money
yeah.
too is a hot part of that.
They're
hot-
there for something serious. They're not fucking around.
Exactly.
It's not like I'm not even. Tinder's not even going to be on my top list because if you're on Tinder, you're a piece of shit.
Oh shit.
I do not fuck with those fucking Tinder hoes. Like,
Oh damn.
fuck out of here.
It doesn't sound like POF is a lot better.
Man, that's what I was just about to
I
say
feel
too.
like Tinder and POF. Are
Yeah,
kind of
but
the
I
same.
think
They're same.
you can get on any website, any dating website, and have whatever intention you have. If it's just have sex, if it's just be in a relationship, it doesn't matter if you're paying for it. It doesn't matter if you're on Tinder. It doesn't matter what
But
you're
there's
on.
a certain type of person that's on every website.
I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't agree with that.
I'm telling you from my point of I did it.
I mean, you probably have more experience with that than me, but I wasn't paying for a website, and I was serious about it. So
yeah, but you only were on for 3 days.
2 weeks.
Oh.
And I just got lucky. That's not something that happens to a lot of people. So.
Now, when you say lucky, what does that mean? Like, what
Anyway, so I had this girl I work with. So there's this girl I work with who is gonna marry this guy that she met on Tinder, and their story's kind of similar to ours. But when she would tell me that, I'd be like, okay, that doesn't happen. Like you guys are like 1 in a million. Like who finds someone on Tinder but they're awesome. I've hung out with them. Like things happen, you know. Like
That's what I mean. Things happen.
yeah,
You just
it all
won't know
depends.
unless you try.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but the original intention behind the website, I agree
understand.
that people can find
Yes.
somebody on Tinder, but there's a reason that people go, oh, Tinder is just for
But
sex
I al-
because it is.
But I also think that these kind of sometimes people are signing up and they're not really sure what they want. So they're gonna try every avenue, and they might be like, "Well, I don't want to be alone, so if I'm hooking up, then I'm not alone. Then you know." So that's some people think too.
I mean, I guess for me, I feel like it's a younger crowd, but I haven't tried it in years,
Yeah,
and I wouldn't try it.
I would never try Tinder. I'm just saying,
Again, I love you. Baby.
stuff happens. Thank
All
you.
right.
I love you too.
Do you have a number 3? No.
It's like I haven't really been on
Mm-hmm.
them as much.
Okay, well, I'll get into my number 2.
Okay,
Okay, Cupid.
wasn't on there.
You weren't on there?
No.
I've heard of it, but
All right, let's just get snap judgments from
that
Ash.
is in the POF range, from
For
what
you?
I've heard. Yeah.
For guys, like
Is
they're.
Just in general, it's kind of like it could go either way kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
What do you think? Rebecca?
Yeah. Nothing
No, I've never
serious.
heard of it.
Trey's got
Yeah.
nothing.
Is it free?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I
Well,
think
try-
the only ones you have to pay for is eHarmony and Match. I think,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
and as the popular ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
popular.
Yeah.
So with all of them, you
There
can
are
pay
features,
money
yeah, where you can
where you
pay.
can swipe
Mhm.
unlimited.
And it says that you like get better matches, but I don't think.
Oh, you see, that's what you feel me. Like
Right.
that's, I
They
feel
just say
that
shit, but
Yeah.
it just means you can, like, if you're horny one night, you can swipe for hours instead of 30 seconds. Anyway, okay, Cupid. These were normally girls who they went to college or they're in college. They're better off than the POF girls. Not as like they don't spell boy with an I. I'm gonna use that as like a parameter for the type of girl I have sex with. If you put an I in boy, I'm not having sex with you, and I'm just only having sex with Ashley now because I love her. I love it. I just keep doing it out of annoying her. After the second one, I was like, I gotta keep doing it. So I did meet up with girls on there. They were a better type of person. I had fun on dates with them. I never had sex with anyone on there.
I don't care.
Okay, I had sex with somebody on there.
I don't care. Listen, I don't care. We all had lives before each other.
We all have a past.
You care if
Yeah,
I go
absolutely.
and give me some bag of chips? I'm hungry.
You're gonna eat chips on
They're
the
gonna
podcast.
sound real good on the
You
mic.
cannot eat chips on the podcast, bro.
Do you want to take a break?
I'm just gonna put a couple right here. And
Bro, do you not understand what's gonna happen when you eat chips on a podcast, Mike? Listen.
Why don't we take a break after this segment?
All right.
Yeah.
How about
matter of fact, I'll be 3 seconds. I'm gonna bite.
that? Go eat some chips, bro. Go eat some chips. God damn it. His first podcast, he wears a hat that doesn't fit. All right. So
Yeah, I heard it was kind of like POF.
yeah, it's just a little bit less eyes and boy and a little bit better type of girls. Now, my number one, guess what it is? Bumble. Wait, where does that rank for you?
Did you
Probably
ever
like
use
4.
OkCupid?
4? That's
I didn't like it.
because you didn't want it. So for those that don't know
You
what
have really
Bumble
nice
is,
eyebrows, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry,
So
I was
for-
just staring at them.
so for those that don't know, Bumble is a website where you can swipe right or left on a girl. Right if you like them, or if you're a guy, left if you don't like them, and the girl has to swipe back,
Right.
and she has to initiate the
That's
conversation.
why
That's how I assume it happens.
Yeah, I didn't like it because of that.
Oh,
You didn't
really?
like to initiate the conversation.
Well, I felt like any guy didn't even read anything and it just would swipe right, swipe right,
In
swipe
the
right.
chance that.
And the chance,
Right.
and then you have to take the initiative to be like, hey, how you doing? And then it's sitting in your inbox for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right. And then I guess if the female also swiped right, they're like, okay, let me look closely into
More,
their
yeah.
profile.
That makes sense.
Because I had these guys that were like totally like I felt out of my league, and they were swiping right on me.
So it definitely happens with websites where you can swipe. You just
Yeah, you're mindless. Sometimes there were times where I would swipe and I'd be like, oh my God, I really didn't mean to do that. I understand that part of it, but I did like how like you couldn't just have like random.
People messaging.
Yeah. Like you had to
we have the con?
at least see the person and think that they're mildly attractive before you swiped. Or
the reason we're all looking weird is because Cash is
Sorry.
just moving around.
Okay,
He
he's
just
good
laid
now.
down.
He's good. He just
He
laid
already
down.
ate the con.
You already ate the con? Why'd you eat? Okay, he took. Oh.
Babe.
Oh my gosh, so adorable.
He'll get on.
One woman mission right now.
He'll get
Okay.
on the camera, and at the end, we'll show Cash again. He's gotten a lot bigger since the last time we saw him.
So I was super duper duper. I've talked about this when I was on apprehensive to get on dating websites, just because I was just like, it's not organic. This is not the way you date. Like I want to meet someone like the old-fashioned way, I guess you could say. But after a little while, and I finally was ready to date again, everyone I knew was like, you have to try. So I was like, I'll try. So I did Bumble because somebody said that the girl had to kind of take control of the situation. So that's the only one I've ever used. And like I said, I did download Hinge, and then it was like, so I was weird, so I deleted it right away. But
What have you heard about Bumble?
Never.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Tremaine? Well, he has sexual encounter for money, by the way.
So
You know
nothing
what's,
wrong with that.
you know what's funny? I thought about this. So you said you have sexual encounter for money, and then Robbie said he managed.
don't make it seem like I'm a whore.
Now,
That's how you say it. I'm
now-
nobody's property.
Now, does Robbie make money off of people that view your whatever you want to call it?
Is he your manager? So-
No, he's not my man.
He does not make any money off of it.
I'm not a-
I feel like you're being really facetious right now. You're not telling the truth.
No, I'm
He's
telling you
trying to
that I
chew
make
his
all my
chips.
money.
He doesn't make anything off it.
I make all my money for the action I'm doing. That's why the hell am I paying somebody else?
I don't. I just heard. I was like, is Robbie his pimp?
Fuck no.
Oh my God, you're so dumb.
Robbie was our ex co-host, and He's no longer with
He's on
us.
vacay now. Have fun.
Just say he's no longer with us to make it like
Okay, whatever.
unclear what happened. He's no longer with us.
That's cold.
Stupid.
That's cold.
But number one. All right, so back to number one.
Wait.
Bumble.
Also, really quick, because I'm gonna go off camera after this. I hated the idea of having to make a profile. Like,
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
hated it.
Why?
I'm like, what do you put on there? Like, you know, and I felt like I was going on there every day just to like change something because I was like, I don't know, I feel like this is weird. Like, I don't really like social media anyway. Like, I literally just post pictures of Cash and my nieces.
It seems like you thought way too much into it.
I
before you
definitely
it. That's
did,
all it was.
obviously, yeah.
What do you say about yourself?
And I don't like taking selfies, so I was like, I'm gonna have to crop myself out of every picture that somebody else was in with me. Like, I don't know, it's just like
Yeah.
weird.
I feel the problem is if you can't say nothing about yourself, that means you don't know who you are yet.
It's not that I know who I am now.
Yes.
I used to not know, but I think that I didn't really know like what to put on there. Like, I'm like, do I put my job? Do I put like my personal stuff? Like, it was just kind of like, and there was like certain questions you could answer. Like, do you prefer Netflix or clubbing? Like,
Oh, I
stuff
know you're
like that.
talking
Yeah,
about
you know
type
what I
shit,
mean?
yeah.
Like, and I was just like, I'm gonna talk about this stuff when I meet the person. So why do I need to like put
Right.
it on a
Because
profile?
it try to matches you. That's
Yeah, and that's I guess that's how they match people. I don't know. So.
By the way, if somebody goes to a club, they're on POF. That's the type of ones that spell boy with an I. Bumble. So mine is how Bumble looks from the eyes of a guy, and my eyes specifically. They're girls who have been to college. They have a good job. They have their head on their shoulders. They're confident enough to talk to you right off the bat. Like, they're the ones that have to initiate it. So it's less pressure. I guess it's less pressure on the guy, which I never really cared about. I can talk about anything for hours. Clearly, I'm on a podcast. But it's just nice having them say hi first.
Hell yeah.
It's just nice not having it. What is that date called? Like, a lot of, like, some places will do where the guy asks or the girl asks the guy. What is that called?
I don't know.
A date where a girl. Let me look it up.
I remember like back in school they used to have like dances where the girl had to ask the guy.
Yeah,
Is
what was
that
it
what
called?
you mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it Sadie Hawkins?
That sounds right.
I think that's just a city. I mean,
No, I think she's right.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
there's instead of like a guy asking a girl to prom. Oh yeah, a Sadie Hawkins dance.
Yeah.
That just sounded like a town in what's that movie on Netflix
Say so I could tell.
with 11 on it? What's that called?
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Hawkins. So that's why it sounded like it. So Hawkins. So it's a Sadie Hawkins dance. I don't know, but I never went to any dances except for when I was like in middle school and before. But yeah, girls on Bumble are normally the higher caliber of girls that I enjoy talking to. I love you, baby.
Was the pegger on Bumble?
Peg girl. She was.
The what girl?
The peg girl.
What the fuck is the peg girl?
We got into like the first time you were on with a girl that wanted to put stuff on my butt.
Said she wanted to peg him.
Oh yeah, don't even get that. We're good. We're good. I know exactly what you're talking about. You don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. All right. So let's get it. So we already got into the dating
So
website.
what was your number one?
I
Yeah.
was successul with Facebook dating
Mhm.
until I got ghosted.
Thank you again for watching that YouTube clip. If you want to see others like it, remember that like and subscribe button. If you have questions
Press it.
for us, go to our website and you can find our email, lovingthem1@gmail.com. You can also see other YouTube clips, highlights, previews to other clips, and behind-the-scenes features. If you want to listen to our podcast, go to anywhere where you listen to your podcast. And you can find Loving Them What there.